Hi guys, here from the train from Tbilisi to Batumi. This is very beautiful landscape here. The Southern Caucasus looks quite similar to the Balkans, I would say, to Albania and Macedonia. Here is one of the rivers and the landscape is like this. This is, I guess, the Southern Mountains. I'm not sure. I can show you the Caucasus. It should be somewhere on the other side, I guess, from the geography. Over there must be somewhere Batumi. I will be curious to see that first time. It's the holy cradle, the cradle of the EU accession trio. I'm speaking with my mask on, and actually it's very modern train here. I really like it a lot. It's a very modern, wireless, everything here, electricity on the seats, and everything you need is actually here. And digital railway booking, online payment, everything is very clean and very good. This is not the Soviet trains of the past. This is very modern way to travel. European Georgia way of traveling. And going to Batumi is now very logical. The conclusion of this, 6 months, 9 countries trip. I was in some countries like Kosovo and also Macedonia and Albania. They are especially dear to me, I confess, twice. In Moldova, Ukraine, and of course Ukraine is very dear to me, and Georgia as well, and Moldova. I was in all 9 countries. That is the most important message, and I support their EU membership. Here is some Soviet legacy industrialization, could be the same like Mitrovica and Elbasan. I see that over there, and certainly the Soviet Union has left a lot of disaster, and now it's gone, and that's very good. I will try to show you here some of this other side. I cannot see the big mountains, but that should be then the north direction. We're heading of course west, and that must be somewhere the road to the Caucasus on the other side. It's quite empty, a lot of agricultural potential. It's of course very important transit route between Asia and the Black Sea and Europe. It's the link to Turkey, and that's of course all highly important, strategic. That's the Southern Caucasus, of course, since ever so important, this pressure zone between Russia, Persia, Turkey and the West, and obviously that is of highest significance. And here the people are very European. 80%, 82% of the people want to be in Europe. It's of course a big crisis now today with this semi-rejection from the European Parliament. And you see the country would really need a lot of investment still. I show you some of the countryside. It's a very centralized country. And then you see the problem, of course, with that is that Tbilisi is very beautiful, Batumi very beautiful, but in between there is a lot of development potential and underdevelopment. Why? Because the Soviet Union was centralist, the transition was obviously centralist, and the European federalism has not arrived with the empowerment of the regions, with a federal constitution. Obviously this country is quite afraid of separatism, the 2 regions, but they didn't break away. This one was a Soviet breakup war in Abkhazia, and the other one was a clear war of aggression in 2008 and the occupation of South Ossetia, which we should pass now somewhere. I guess in some half an hour we should come through Gori, I guess, and then there should be some glimpse of South Ossetia. I will try to show you this, but I think it's interesting to see how this country works. This is the plain, which is the transport plain, the agricultural plain, and on both sides there is obviously big mountains, and that's the Caucasus range. I have not really had the possibility to see. I have to come back, there is no doubt. There's so much to see in this beautiful country, and I really love it. And I call all European tourist consumers, consume Georgian goods, consume something Georgian, and Georgia to be fully inside the European project. Don't reject Georgia. It's only serving Russian interests. It's much better to reform Georgia inside. And if we should reject one country and suspend it and freeze it, it's Serbia, not Georgia. If you need courage, Europe, then close one eye, on some of the negative aspects here in Georgia. Get them in now on the direction, and we can solve all the things then later after they have gotten the EU candidate status. And that's the much better way to handle that situation. And if you want to be a bit courageous, then you can always freeze the EU candidate status of Serbia, because that's well deserved, because we gave so much to Serbia and we gave so little to Georgia. Serbia has unfortunately not helped us when we needed it most, and Georgia more or less is always pro-European. They are just very careful because on the other side of that mountains is the Russian army, or on the other side of the Caucasus Mountains, I think it's another range in the back, and they are obviously ready to attack. You see, the rural poverty is really striking in Georgia because of the centralist and anti-federalist tradition. They lack European development methods and models, and this is all coming then along once we have the situation settled inside the European Union accession priorities and structures. That will be much better, and this is the way forward. Okay, thanks for that. I will also do some writing now and coming back, and I will show you some of the regional issues here. Passing Gori, calling for unity based on federalism, and yes, this is one of the regional capitals. Okay, good. Enough now. More to come from Pax Europiana. Here you see how this. No, yeah, exactly. That's the first village we are now heading in. It looks very similar to Albania or to Ukraine in the regions. Regional poverty, of course, a big issue due to centralist traditions, and of course a century of centralist socialism cannot be stamped out in few years. This needs major effort by policymakers and a holistic European regional development concept everywhere in all regions. Here you see is one of the kings in this beautiful, that's Caspi. Okay, Caspi, hello Caspi. And I'm showing you a bit of this Caspi if you want to see some development. A lot of property obviously. It looks also very similar to Albania or Macedonia. More like Albania actually, here in this regional poverty, Caspi. Yeah, the vegetation is very good. Obviously then the people want to leave here and they want to go to Europe or America, and that's the only way forward for them. Okay, thanks a lot for that. More to come from Pax Europiana. I will keep you posted. Bye.